Hey, good day. I figured I'd do a 20,000 kilometer review of the Toyota Tacoma that my wife and I picked up last year. Just some likes, dislikes, a little bit of opinion, and why I got it. It's our first Toyota. I've put on about 2 million kilometers in Fords, and decided to go with a Toyota Tacoma on my last purchase. We kept the F-150. It's a 5 liter and it's still got lots of life left and runs really good, but we're looking for something a little bit smaller. The Maverick was on the list, Ranger, Frontier, Ridgeline, and Tacoma. Part of the criteria for buying the vehicle was it needed to last 300,000 kilometers, which is about 200,000 miles without nickel and diming. So that's why those particular vehicles were on the list initially, and some got eliminated rather quickly. One of the mechanical reasons I like about the Tacoma is it has dual injection, so it has direct and port, and it also doesn't have stop start, which I liked. I know on Fords you can get that feature taken off, but I'll go through some of the upgrades that we did to it, starting at the front. These are all easy to do, and another nice thing about the Tacoma is there's such a fan base and following for this truck that it's very easy to find out how to do modifications when you need to. Anyway, started with a bug deflector just to protect the hood a little bit. It has LED daytimes on it, so I figured I'd put in LED headlights, high beams, low beams, and fog lights. Those you can get pretty much anywhere, and just get what you want and make sure it's not too obnoxious. Did the side deflectors as well, again just for some added shade, some appearance. The only factory option was the running boards. Again, that's just for protection. They don't really do much because it's a fairly small truck. The other thing I did almost right away, because I got this just before the winter started, is the Toyota A31s that came on it are not good. So I upgraded to Hankook Dynapro AT2s. I'd had them on our F-150 before, and they're a really good all-terrain that's for snowy weather as well if you don't need a super aggressive looking tire and don't want it. That's about, oh, and then LED taillights as well. And that's about it for exterior upgrades. And we'll go into the interior and talk about some of the things I dislike about the interior and like about it. All right, on the inside of the interior of a 2022 Tacoma, it's very basic. That's a thing I like. It's very easy to clean. The dash is super hard plastic, which makes it easy to wipe, and it's also a very shallow dash, so you can pretty much, I got long arms and I can pretty much swipe across the dash in one stroke with a rag there and dust it off when it's dirty. The other thing is the gauge cluster, very old-fashioned, easy to read. It's analog, same with a lot of the control surfaces. They're all dials for the most part. The touchscreen is a dislike. It's slow and sometimes freezes up, but other than that, it's very basic. And I like how it's incorporated into the dash and doesn't stick up out of the dash. So I know that's not the most popular opinion now, but it's my preference, and that's again one of the reasons why we ended up with the Tacoma. Put a armrest protector on there. Another upgrade in here was to go with the cubbies. Those are just Amazon things that you can get. They're really inexpensive. Glove box I left alone because it's a huge cavernous glove box, and sometimes I want to throw some crap in there, and it's very handy for that. Now to this part. On the SR5, they do have power seats, so you can lift and lower them. I'm a little over 6 feet tall and again have long limbs. I'd say I'm the max height for this vehicle, at least in terms of leg length, and I'm not very wide either. If you're a bigger guy, and this is a long-known problem with the Tacoma of this generation, is it doesn't fit big dudes all that well. And that CK 1500 that you can see right now, I would trade this straight up for that in a second. But anyway, back to this interior. The hard plastics, I noticed it was getting scuffed here, so I just threw some duct tape down there to protect it. That's a dislike for sure. It seems like this hard material, if it does have any kind of abrasion on it, likes to get marred up. And we'll move on to the back. All right, in the back here, just have some, these are, I guess they're called a gun rack on Amazon, but they're just to store things. I put water bottles, things like bug spray, gloves, dog toys, and other assorted goods. Grocery bags will go in there too when we go grocery shopping. Put a seat cover in the back because we do have a fur missile that goes and gets ducks and geese, and sometimes he goes a little hard and is super dirty, so seat covers are a good investment if you have a dog. Another thing I should mention is I Scotch guarded all of the fabrics just with the automotive Scotch guard. It's easy to do. Get a respirator though. And the back is pretty basic. It does have quite a bit of storage. I don't want to move it right now, but easy to get to. Comes with a hitch and ball, which I was surprised with. And it also comes with the rail cleats as well. And back to some of the things that I did in the interior was those red bezels, and I also did a front speaker upgrade. Just the fronts, they were Pioneers that I put in. They came with the bracket because Toyotas kind of have a janky bracket for their speaker systems, but if you get a kit that has the bracket in it, it'll be a lot easier, and that's one less thing you need to worry about. Now I'll get on to the box of the truck. Over here in the box, I guess I'll come out a little bit, is one of the reasons we got the Tacoma. It's a 6-foot bed. You can't get a Ranger with a 6-foot bed, and the Maverick bed is just itty bitty teeny tiny. The Frontier you can. So Frontier was really compelling too. It was a hard decision. There's a rear slider, and all Toyotas have a composite bed, which is great, except it's quite slippery, so that's why there's a mat back here. In case I'm doing anything in here, I can just move the mat around. One neat thing that I noticed right away on this is there are holes in the bed for water drainage. That's awesome because sometimes it snows here, well, a lot here, and your bed will get full of snow, and it's just nice for that to have somewhere to go. There is an outlet in the back and a little cubby there. That's where I keep the ratchet straps. This trim of truck came with the rail system, which again is a really nice addition. And then back here we have just plain Jane tailgate and trailer hitch. I wanted to talk about towing with this with a Tacoma because I did tow with it about a 4,300 pound trailer, and it hated it. It did it no problem, but the fuel economy on it was about 28 liters per 100 kilometers, towing at 105 kilometers an hour. I can tow that same trailer with my 5-liter F-150, and I'll get about 17.8, 18 liters per 100 kilometers going the same speed. So way better fuel efficiency using a truck that has the capability for heavier towing. It just strains it out a little bit. Another upgrade I'd done to it was put in a TRD air filter, just the air filter, not the cold air intake system. I didn't see the need for it. And in day-to-day traffic, it keeps up fairly well. It's geared well for getting up to about 90 kilometers an hour. And then it kind of isn't as peppy after that, but it has no issues merging or anything like that in our conditions. But that would be a dislike in that the 5-liter, a 5-liter F-150 or even a Ranger Frontier is going to be a lot more zippy than a Tacoma is. And underneath I fluid filmed it. Again, that's all things that are available on the forums and on YouTube to do. Basically, I just watched YouTube videos on how to modify it and do upgrades to it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this is a great little truck for our family, and take care.